What's going on, guys? Max Melnade here, bringing y'all another video. And in this video, we are skating our first 10-inch popsicle in the beautiful, warm sanctuary of Austin, Texas. I mentioned to you guys in a couple of the last videos I was going to be heading down here to Texas for Christmas. I got off for a full week, so I'm I had mentioned in some of my previous videos that I was going to be heading down to Texas for the week of Christmas. I'm very thankful and fortunate that I could get off for such a long period to actually travel down here and see my family. And it's also such a great opportunity to get some good skating in because, as you guys might know from my other videos as well, it has been so cold. There's been so much snow in upstate New York. So to be back down here where I'm from and to be in this like 70-degree weather in the middle of December, it's honestly a very surreal feeling. And because of that and the fact that I knew I was going to be here and able to skate in warm weather for a full week, I just kind of impulsively, the night before we left to Texas, which was 2 days ago, I decided to set up this 10-inch popsicle that I had been kind of saving the last couple months. And I'm so glad I set this up. I actually have not ridden it at all or popped any tricks on it yet. I'm gonna go over the stats real quick for you guys before we do that. I've just kind of cruised around on it in the driveway a little bit just to kind of test the bushings and stuff, and we will definitely get to that because it is also my first time riding Ace trucks. But yeah, as far as the stats of the board, this is a 10-inch Scram popsicle. I know like a couple months ago, if you've been watching the channel, we were riding a 9.5-inch Scram popsicle for months and months, and I loved it. Loved the concave and just the sturdiness of the wood and everything. I love Scram boards, so no problem's gonna be there. I know that Scram makes a quality deck. As far as the actual stats, 10 inches wide, it is 33 inches long. It came stock with a 15-inch wheelbase, a 7 1/4 nose, and a 6 7/4 tail. I ended up re-drilling the wheelbase back on the front truck 1/2 inch. So we now have a 14.5-inch wheelbase, which is honestly, I think, the shortest wheelbase we've ever skated, but I think it's gonna be kind of fun on the big board to have some better pop, especially with a smaller wheelbase, and it will make it feel lighter. And that also, doing that, gave it a 7.75-inch nose. Putting that on screen right here just because of how crazy that is. I've never seen a board with that big of a nose, at least in the modern times on what's on the market stock. Probably the biggest nose I've seen is like a 7.5. So this is probably gonna feel crazy, but proportionally, I like the way it looks. When I ride popsicles, I always like the nose to look a lot bigger than the tail, just so I know which direction I'm skating all the time without having to do anything weird with the grip tape. Went with a standard Jessup grip tape job. I feel like one of my better grip tape jobs. I'm gonna show everything up close and personal as well, so you guys can see that in a second. And yeah, still a 6.75-inch tail, so pretty standard, gonna feel nice. And then as far as trucks, I wanted 9.5-inch trucks. I always like to kind of ride a little bit less than the width of the actual board. The only company I could find that made 9.5-inch trucks was Ace, so I got some AF1s, just the standard Ace AF1 77s. As far as I was saying with the bushings, standard bushings felt so squirrely. Then I did get some hard bushings to put in them that Ace actually makes, the Ace hard bushings for AF1s. Those honestly felt just as squirrely to me. They felt a little bit more stable, at least just kind of cruising around in the driveway, but I was still getting wheel bite even with a 1/4-inch riser. So I ended up having some hardcore, Bones hardcore bushings and the hardest Duro with the little black circle. Threw those in here, left the bottom pivot cup because that's what everybody said to do if you're gonna put these in Ace. And this honestly has been feeling the best. I haven't gotten any of the clicking noise that Bones bushings normally make, and it just feels really solid. I did a couple turns on each truck, nothing crazy, maybe like 2 or 3, and honestly I think this is the formula for me, is going to be using these Bones hardcore bushings in the Ace trucks. And then as far as wheels go, I'm still on the Spitfire radial soft sliders and the 54mm. Been on these for a couple months, been loving them, they feel great. They're kind of probably down to a 52 or 53 now because we have been riding them for a couple months. Got the Pedro Delfino Bronson bearings in there, those are also great. I love the way they match these wheels in the Spitfire radials with that kind of like red fiery color. And then, yeah, lastly, we just got some Pal Peralta rib bones on here, man. I always ride those as deck rails for any of my board slides. They always feel really good. I think the white looks great on this board. But yeah, other than that, I don't even know what type of hardware we got. Just some random stuff I had in a bag. That's not too important, at least to me. If it's hardware, it's hardware. I think it's Philips hardware, if you wanted to know that. But anyway, I think that's the deep dive of this setup. And I'm just Really looking forward to skating it. We're at this local elementary school near my grandma's house. Got some really nice curbs, red and yellow here. Gonna try to wax some of these up. Maybe we can do some nose slides on this big nose. And then I think we'll just start cruising around, doing some flat ground on it first and see how it pops, man. Because a behemoth like this, you never know. But with that shorter wheelbase, I'm very interested to find out. So without further ado, I think we should get to riding this board, man. I'm super, super excited. And real quick, before we actually start riding, just want to shout out Magic Mind real quick. You know, it's been a lot of travel these last few days. I've been feeling a little tired. I was working all week last week as well, also filming videos. And this stuff really gets me through it, man. It's a really like clear-headed energy. Got a lot of adaptive mushrooms, ashwagandha, liathine, just a lot of really natural, good for you stuff. Even if this wasn't for energy, if it was just a vitamin, I would be taking this every day just because of how healthy all these ingredients actually are for you, at least from my personal knowledge and what I've heard about these ingredients. And also it's gonna give us a really nice, mellow, good energy for this sesh. So shout out to Magic Mind, man. Let's do this thing. Just wanted to come show this board up close and personal for you guys before we actually get to it. Wow, the graphic looks beautiful. I thought about actually doing the board build on here as well for you guys, but that's always very tedious to film. And I feel like people enjoy just looking at the final product the most, as well as actually the riding itself. There's the top. Honestly, I've been doing a lot of different grip tape patterns recently on my decks, but just having that very, you know, like straight piece of Jessup on there, I feel like it looks very nice. And I'm excited just to be looking down at that right now. You can see how big the nose is too compared to the tail. This thing is a behemoth, but I think it's gonna be super, super fun. It's gonna be nice. I've been watching a lot of videos of people riding the horse pill and all those big 10-inch popsicles that have been out in the market recently. So this is gonna kind of mix it up, but be on that similar wavelength, because this thing definitely looks like a pill when I'm looking down at it right now. Just had to show that beautiful Texas sunset, man. It's always so nice here looking at the sky in the evening like this. It's always beautiful, like red and purple. One thing I definitely miss about Texas is how beautiful the sunsets are. All right, guys, so it's the next day. Yesterday's session did not go as planned. After we did those slappy nose slides that y'all saw, I actually decided to go for some slappy back 50s. Now that is a trick that I've never actually done before, but that curb we were doing those slappy nose slides on was very rounded, so I kind of got the idea that it might be easier to try to learn on there. I went for it for about an hour straight. It started getting really dark, and I ended up not actually landing one yesterday, unfortunately. I did get very close in a couple, which I will show right here. But yeah, as you saw, we were kind of starting to lock in, kind of not. I don't really know anything about that trick very well. I know how to do an axle stall on transition, which is very similar motion, but the curb was just a little bit harder to get onto than coping. So unfortunately, we did not get that yesterday. That's why I didn't include the full session. And then it was too dark to do anything else. But it is the next day. We got about an hour to skate right now before I got to do some stuff with my family. And I came to a different school that has a nice little ride-on grind spot right here that I'm fixing to show you guys. It isn't much. I came over here scouting because the other school we were at yesterday did not have anything much besides that curb. And looking at this, we could definitely get at least to that little pillar right there. I don't know if that big 10-inch board will fit much past that. But I already did one test grind and we made it almost halfway. So I think I'm gonna wax this up and we can just start session this for a little bit and see what happens. All right, guys, so we got this little ledge ride-on thing going pretty dang good, pretty quick. I'm telling you, that Chunky Slabs wax is something else, man. I don't know what Ramon makes it out of, but it just makes stuff grind so easy. That's like the third spot we got going within like 5 minutes of waxing it. So super excited about that. Definitely today's session was a little bit quicker. This is kind of the only spot we have time for. My family's doing a little holiday party that I got to get going to. I got to go pick up some groceries and stuff for them right now because the party's in a couple hours. But you know what? We at least got to have a little sesh today and film a little bit for this video. And so far, I am loving that 10-inch popsicle so much. I just feel so confident, so comfortable. Everything that we've done on it so far has felt amazing. But we're going to have a lot more sessions in this video to come. This was just, like I said, another quick chapter in the video, but we're going to be filming all week, hitting some skate parks and stuff. So I will see you guys at the next session. Also just wanted to quickly show, finally we're getting a little groove in our trucks. I hate when I get new trucks and they just look completely like straight with no metal, completely polished. I just feel like skateboard trucks are meant to be grinded, man. So it's always nice to finally start making those grooves and marks, man, because that's the worst part of new trucks for me, is having them just look completely plain. So yeah, very fun session, like I said, and I'll see you guys tomorrow at the next session. And to whoever lives in this area, if you recognize it, I hope you guys can come get some clips on that little ledge that I waxed up. All right, guys, so it's day 3 of riding this 10-inch popsicle now, about to have the 3rd session. It is Christmas Eve right now, and I am at the wonderful skate park of House Park here in Austin, Texas. I don't think I've ever filmed here before, but this is a very iconic skate park here in Austin. Beautiful, beautiful park. Super excited to try to skate here. I know there's some nice curbs and stuff that we're gonna be skating on this 10-inch popsicle today. Probably not gonna talk too much while I'm here, but I'm just gonna set up the tripod and see what we can get.
Bro, that's not good, bro. That's like not supposed to happen.
All right, guys, so here we are at the 4th session. This is basically turning into a whole Texas holiday skate vlog while we're reviewing this 10-inch popsicle. But today's actually Christmas Day, or at least this whole day has been. It's technically midnight right now. Just finished all the festivities and all my family went to bed, and I'm here in this very small Texas town. It actually just poured rain, but I really wanted to come skate. You can see that a lot of stuff's still wet. But luckily for us, the little 2-stair in the area is looking pretty dry. The run-up's completely dry. It's a little damp where you land, but that's completely fine with me. I haven't hit any stairs on this board yet, so this session might be kind of quick since most of the other stuff is still wet. And like I said, it is pretty late right now, but I just want to hit this staircase a few times and just kind of go from there for today's session. So let's do this thing.
All right, guys, so it's technically session number 5. I wasn't even planning on really filming today. I just been with my little cousins for Christmas and kind of riding around on my board with them. We were over at my grandma's house over there, and I look across in this parking lot and I just see these awesome little like wooden type parking block shaped things around this flower bed, and I really want to do some board slides on them. So that's what today's session is going to be. Let's see what we can get on it because I'm super pumped to try to skate this. It's got a really weird angle coming out here, but there's really just enough room for me to come out to regular and kind of pivot out. So we got to get this right here. Oh, right there. This thing is sliding really nice, especially with the deck rails on the wood, and I'm having a blast just at this spot. It's so unique and it's so fun. It feels really good to have all this room for board slides. Oh yeah, there we go. That one felt good. Hit it with a decent amount of speed. Only took a couple tries to get that. Let's see if we can board slide a little bit more of it and come with a little more smoothness as well. So let's just see what happens. Oh, got stuck right there on the edge. If I had more time today, I would honestly try to go and adjust it to try to go into like a nose slide or something. But right now we're just trying to get a good board slide. That would definitely be a lot longer of a battle, but who knows? Maybe we'll come back to it. Oh yeah, there we go. Oh yeah. That was clean. I think we will end on that one. So here we are at the outro of this video. Just kind of wanted to go back over all of my thoughts and opinions on this beautiful 10-inch popsicle. I hope that the riding can speak for itself. If you've been watching this channel a while, I think you could definitely tell from this video that we got a lot of confidence from this board. We tried a lot of new things. Just to go over a few of the highlights from this video, the board slide that we did on that wooden obstacle that I found next to my grandma's house. I was never really doing board slides in the wild before, so that was a super big accomplishment. Number 2, going to that skate park in Austin and doing the back 50-50 down ledge ride-on. That was a huge ride-on ledge. That was like 3.5 feet long. It was backside, which we've never been good at, and we've never done one on a down ledge. I had gone to that park like 3 other times in the last 2 years and never came close to grinding that thing before. It could well be that also my skill level has just gotten higher than the last times we'd skated those obstacles, because of course we are progressing, because we are skating as much as possible every single day, or at least every single week right now with the weather and how it is. So our skill level's definitely been progressing on its own, but I feel like being on this big 10-inch popsicle, especially for doing obstacles, just really inspired a lot of confidence in me. There were a few things that were a little trippy for me on it. One being the Ace trucks. That's not the board itself, just trying the Ace trucks in general. Took quite a while to get used to how loose they were. As you saw in the beginning of the video, I did put Bones Hardcore bushings in them, which did tighten them up a little bit, but I still was getting wheel bite even with the old wheels I had on this. Originally, I was riding the Spitfire soft sliders that were like a 52 millimeter. They had been worn down. They were originally 54. But recently, as you can see, I did switch it up on this board. I actually put some white Crux riser pads just because I wanted them to match the deck rails. And then for Christmas, I got a set of 54 millimeter PAL Dragons that I put on there with some fresh Bones Red bearings. Haven't actually gotten to skate the new wheels on this board yet, just because since I've been back in upstate New York, as you can tell from my outfit, it's been very, very cold. We've gotten snow for the last like 8 days. Hopefully we'll be able to get out and do some snow skating content soon for you guys. But as far as skating's been, it has been pretty few and far between since Texas. So I am very thankful we got to skate as much as we did when we were there for the holidays and stuff. But other than that, other thing that was a little trippy on this board for me was the wheelbase. I'm used to riding like 15-inch wheelbases most of the time. For this one, we actually brought it in all the way to a 14.5-inch wheelbase, which is the smallest wheelbase I've ever like really given a good shot at. I have ridden smaller wheelbases in the past, like when we did the heel flip video on the 825, but that was more stationary heel flips. When I'm actually doing obstacles and transition and stuff, 14.5 feels really small, especially with the Ace trucks. That's out of all the trucks, the Ace trucks bring a wheelbase in the most. So especially with the Ace trucks, it was a little hard to get used to. Going downstairs, even doing that 2-stair felt a little weird. The ollie timing was off. At times I felt like my stance was a little too tight, but actually over time, just kind of flowing with it, getting used to making adjustments to my ollie and everything, and my flat ground tricks and skating those obstacles, I was able to get used to it quite a bit. I think the fact that this skateboard is so wide and it is so long, having that shorter wheelbase, I was able to compensate for the size of the board, if you know what I mean. I still felt confident enough to do all of my stuff just because of how wide and long this deck actually was. And it did feel good to have that short wheelbase in a way, because a lot of stuff does feel a lot snappier. So it definitely had its pros and cons. But overall, I'm very, very happy with this setup. I do plan to continue riding it as long as I can and keeping this in the arsenal. I still want to ride other boards. We still have like the Green Giant. That's why I switched the wheels out and put the old wheels back on the Green Giant. But overall, this board's been really fun. I would highly recommend getting a 10-inch popsicle to your arsenal. There's a lot out there now, especially with stuff like the Horse Pill that's more short and a shorter wheelbase even than this. Some of you guys who ride smaller boards might still be able to find some fun with that, with the smaller wheelbase offerings that some of these 10-inch popsicles have. Sorry, I've been working all day and it's late right now. I'm stumbling on my words a little bit, but I've been meaning to film this outro for a little while because, as you know, it's like the second week of January right now, and most of that writing happened the last week of December. But it's just been really busy with work and stuff since I got back. But here we are now, and we're doing it. So I'm happy to be making this video for you guys and kind of sharing these final thoughts with y'all. But overall, very fun setup, and we're definitely going to be riding this for the foreseeable future, at least swapping it in with our arsenal. Like I said, I still want to ride a few other boards, but this probably will be our main setup for quite a while, at least for the next like 3 months, 4 months, or as long as this baby will hold up. Other than that, do want to show you guys another board that we got for Christmas. This is the Heroin Skateboards Nolan Mutant. Definitely going to be making a video on this in the future. Probably not for a while because I want to be skating the 10-inch popsicle and the the anti-hero Green Giant as much as I can as well until those two boards kind of go kaput. But expect a video on this board in the future. Definitely going to be setting this up. Out of all the Heroin Skateboard lineup boards that they had, this was definitely the board that was highest on my wish list, and I'm so happy that I got this for Christmas, man. Probably will put the ace trucks on it as well in the future, who knows, but definitely going to be a fun board for a future video. I just wanted to show that off to you guys and give y'all something to look forward to. Finally, before we close out the video, I want to give a quick shout out again to Magic Mind. They've been so supportive of this channel. I actually genuinely love the product. I take it before work, take it before I go skating quite often, and it really is a game changer for me mentally. It really takes the edge off. It gives me a clear-headed energy, and I'm able to sleep well afterwards. It doesn't give me like the jitters that like strong energy drinks will, or coffee, especially late at night. So really love this stuff. It really boosts my mood and it boosts my productivity and most of the facets of my life. So thank you, Magic Mind. You can actually buy this with my discount code. You can use max20 to get up to 40% off your first 10-day subscription with Magic Mind. So if you want to go and use max20, please feel free. It'll help me. It'll help you guys. You'll be able to get a discount and actually kind of try this product and see what I'm talking about with it. Because I really do mean it. I really love this product. I would never promote a product on this channel that I don't actually like or I don't actually use. So yeah, shout out to them once again. But anyways, thank you guys so much for watching this video. It was a long one. I hope you enjoyed it. Definitely one of my favorite videos that I've made. Definitely one of the funnest boards that I've ever ridden. Shout out to Scram, making these big 10-inch popsicles. And I will catch you guys in the next video. Get out there and skate if you can, and have a great rest of your day. Peace out.